So the materials to make yogurt couldn't be any more basic. Let's start with the base, the milk. Most recipes recommend that you use whole milk or buttermilk, but I prefer 2% just because it's a little less fat and it gives the same kind of texture. Then we'll need the live active cultures. Now, you can send away for live active cultures if you want, but I prefer getting them straight from an existing batch of yogurt. And my favorite brand is this Horizon Organic. It has 5 species of live active cultures, and it has over 1 billion cultures per bottle. So you're going to get a lot of, you're going to get a really flavorful and healthy yogurt. I would stay away from the Yoplait and the other blended fruity yogurts out there, because in addition to getting a lot of extra sugar, you're also not going to get as many live active cultures. And then also you're going to need a meat thermometer, and this is used to measure the temperature of the yogurt as you're making it. Now, if you're going to make some Greek yogurt, you would also need a cheesecloth and a strainer, but we'll get to that step later. While the yogurt is getting to between 180 and 190 degrees, you want to be stirring it occasionally just to prevent the milk from burning on the bottom of the pot, and also to keep making sure that the heat of the mixture is evenly distributed. Now, you don't have to do what I'm doing, which is just constantly stirring it. But it looks like we are almost there between 180 and 190 degrees. And you can look at the milk. It looks like it's bubbling a little bit on the top. And the bottom, it feels like it's getting a little bit burned down there. Well, it looks like we just had a problem. The milk boiled over, and it made a little mess. But that's okay. So I am removing it from the heat and making more of a mess. And now I'm going to let the milk cool to between 110 and 120 degrees. Now, the recipe calls for 1 quart of milk should equal between 2 and 3 tablespoons of yogurt. I like to put in a little bit more just for good measure. So you just drop it in like that. And stir. And just let the just get it all mixed up. You know, it doesn't have to be a perfect blend. Just, stir it up a little bit. Pour the milk and yogurt mixture into a Tupperware or glass jar. And cover it. And then cover it with a couple kitchen towels. Now, this is going to keep it warm and allow the live active cultures to really start breeding and developing in your yogurt. All right, well, it's the next morning, and here's our yogurt. It looks like it's almost done. It's a little thick, but it has a little bit of whey on the top of it. Now, the whey is just a byproduct of the yogurt process, and what we're going to do now is we're going to drain that. We're going to strain the yogurt, making a Greek yogurt, and which is going to be thicker and better tasting and a smoother texture. If you don't want a Greek yogurt, you can just chuck this in the refrigerator for 8 hours. It'll come out the next morning. Alright, well, here is our yogurt here. And here is what we're going to use to strain it. Now, this is just a little bit of cheesecloth. You can get it at any grocery store and even a lot of hardware stores. And under the cheesecloth is just a regular old strainer. And so what I did was I put a few folds in the cheesecloth to block the holes a little bit. And I'm going to pour the yogurt into the bowl. So, let's see if I can do this one-handed. And mostly successful. Okay, nothing fell apart this time. So I'm just going to let this yogurt sit here and strain through. What's going to happen is the whey is going to drain out into the bottom there. And then we're going to have our Greek yogurt. So now that the yogurt's been strained and I put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours, now it's ready to eat. I dressed mine up with some walnuts and some honey, and now it's going to make a perfect breakfast. So as you can see, making your yogurt is a little bit time consuming, but super easy and really fun too. Thanks.